Hey everybody, this is Tanya with Living But Not Just Existing, and I'm on here to give an update of our experience with getting our temporary residency from Mexico. We did it! Yay! We did it. So we do have our temporary residency. Both my husband and I do. We went to the Mexican consulate when we were in Raleigh. I started my process in Raleigh, North Carolina. I have a video on that. If you want to take a look at that, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to do more of these because I'm finding that it's helpful to people, and it also keeps my family and my friends updated on what's going on with our lives a little bit. And we are living, not just existing. So my husband and I decided that we wanted to move to Mexico, and I started the process in Raleigh, as I stated before. We did the Mexican consulate because that was obviously closest to us. Our home base is in North Carolina, and so it just made sense for us to go ahead and use Raleigh, and it was super easy from what I'm understanding. I thought it was a long process, but from what I'm hearing from other people, I did pretty good. And so I'm gonna cut this light on while I'm talking to you. So it's kind of crazy in this Airbnb. It gets dark in some areas. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see me, so I'm gonna turn this on. I actually am up really early because I have to work. And so I'm up testing out everything to make sure I can do a huge presentation I'm supposed to do for work. I did not plan for that. And if you're a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, you know I did not come to Mexico looking like this. Luckily, I packed her. So when I was told I was going to be doing a large presentation, I was able to pull her out and get her ready. For those of you who don't know, you will know. Anyway, or you may have seen my shorts, and you'll see that my shorts that I've done, I don't look like this. No. I'm so glad that I did. I'm still in corporate, still work a very corporate job, and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get your point across. Not that I have to, because I did also meet some ladies here in Mérida, and I'm sidetracking, but I'm gonna get back to it. But I met some ladies here in Mérida who I made the comment that, I gotta pull my little unit out every once in a while, and they just look like, why? Because they're already living here and they're living free. So they're looking at me like, why are you still doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I understand your point, but I'm still there. So, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But so anyway, she pulled her out, she's working. So got the process, started in Raleigh, got it done, was able to, my attorney who we're using made us an appointment here in Mérida, and we were already planning to come anyway, so it worked perfectly. We were here for 2 weeks. I'm so glad we did a 2-week trip, because my appointment was on the day when we first, probably about 2 days after we got here. So today is April 10th. We flew out March 31st, and my appointment was April 2nd. My husband's appointment was April 7th. And then he had to go back again yesterday, which was April 9th. Whew, that in itself. Okay, so let me go. So my appointment April 2nd was at 10 o'clock in the morning. We got there about 9:30. We met our attorney, one of the legal representatives of the attorney's office met us there, and he sat us down. He looked over the paperwork. Oh, wait, let me go back. We got in March 31st. I went to the attorney's office on the 1st, took an Uber to the attorney's office to sign paperwork. Now, this paperwork is in Spanish. I am doing better with my Spanish, but I am trusting my attorneys that I am not signing my life away. And so I signed the paperwork and it was fine. So I signed probably about 4 or 5 documents. But one of the things I noticed was that they asked me for a Mexican address. They're like, "Where are you staying?" So we stayed in multiple places. We stayed in a hotel for 4 days. We stayed in one Airbnb the next, and then we were staying in another Airbnb. And so I was like, which address do we use? And so she mentioned to just, put the Airbnb that you're using, and we'll use that. But don't tell them it's an Airbnb. Why? I thought that was a little odd. But when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. I told them, okay, I will do just that. So I used the address that we were staying at in our second place. I didn't give them the hotel, obviously, because that's a hotel. So I think I don't know if it's a real big deal, but I think they just wanted to make sure that it didn't look like we were just, staying somewhere briefly. I'm not sure. Anyway, but that's going to come up later. And I'll go into that story later about where we were staying. So we're there. I fill out the paperwork. The next day is my appointment. We meet the attorney there at the place, and he just said, "Hey, sign your name there, and we'll wait outside." So we're waiting outside. In Mérida, it's like that. I don't know if it's like that across Mexico, but here in Mérida, they have a section where you kind of just sit outside and wait until your block of time is called. So if you're there at 8:30, you go in with the 8:30 crew. If you're there at 9, you go with the 9, and so on and so on. So it actually was very organized. I've been dealing with plenty of governmental agencies. Do you hear the dogs? There's some dogs barking. Dogs barking is the sounds of Mexico, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. I thought I was going to be up all night, but I slept right through those jokers. But yeah, they are barking right now. But I found, what was I saying? See, you cannot be messing around. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, well, what I was saying was the processing time and actually being there was not, it wasn't any more difficult than being at the DMV. You take your number, or the Social Security office, or any governmental place in the U.S. You take your number, you wait, right? The difference is that most of them are speaking in Spanish. So luckily, we had our attorney that was there who was able to translate mostly for us to let us know. So I didn't wait very long. When I got there, I got in right away and went to the front, had all my paperwork. I signed in. I waited to be called to like one of the offices. So you get a number, and then you stand behind that window where you have your number. And there were probably about 4 or 5 people ahead of me that were, I think, going through the same thing. And matter of fact, I know they were going through the same thing. And so once I had this, I had my number and I was sitting at the window. I was called up by the immigration officer, and she just kind of confirmed, is your name correct? Is your information correct? And all of that. And I signed for that. And then I took payment. There was a payment that was that I think is, I want to say $85 US was what I had to pay. So I paid that, and then I was told to get another number to go get my picture taken. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went in the back, went in front, got my number, went in the back, And I sat there and I waited and got my picture taken, and they came out with my ID. Like, it was just that, fingerprint. I got fingerprinted first. You get fingerprinted, and they take your picture. You have to sit this way, sit that way. I smiled this time because the first time I took the picture, I did not smile, and I was like, ooh, I do not like that picture. So I did smile this time, and and I got it. And they actually gave me my card then, which was very rare. My attorney said that typically does not happen. Typically, you have your appointment and then you come back and you get your card. I got all mine in one day. And I think we got out of there. It was still a long process. My husband was sitting outside waiting for me, and he was kind of freaking out a little bit. But he does that. He was just back there like, what's going on in there? What do I need to get in there? Like, and those of you who know my husband, you know. So he was very, very kind of like, I don't know what is going on in there. Do I need to come up in there and get you? Like, what is going on? But it was all fine. It just took a while. You know, it was just really just sitting and waiting. You just sit and wait. And again, I knew what he was going through. So that was on April 2nd. Got my card. His appointment was on the 7th. So fast forward to the 7th. We went in for his appointment, and he went in first. And he kept asking me, what are they going to ask me? What are they going to do? Because, of course, his process was different. Oh, let me back up again. April 6th, the day before his appointment, we went to the attorney's office, did the same thing. We had to fill out, he had to sign paperwork. And this is where the apostille, the marriage certificate apostille that we got in Vegas was handing, right? So I handed them all of that. They had copies of that. They said, make sure you bring the originals to your appointment with your passports. I said, absolutely. Next day, we went to the appointment. His appointment was at 9, and we got there at 8:30. So a little bit different here, where it was just earlier, but we got there and they took him right away. So I was like, okay, great. Well, easy breezy. We're gonna do this just like before. So now it's my turn to sit out and wait for him. And so we did, and he went in there, and I think there was something that we needed that we didn't have. Again, this is helpful for why you have your attorney there. I'm sorry, I know people do this by themselves. Hats off to you, but the assistance we got from our attorney was everything. And I will put their information in the, if you requested for it, if you reach out to me, I will give you my attorney's information. How about that? Because, yeah, just let me know. Let me know if you're interested in getting their information. But so anyway, he comes out, my husband, and I didn't even see him. I was in my phone because it's just you're just sitting there. And I just saw my attorney walk away fast, and they went back inside. So my attorney came back out, and he said that I need to go run back to the office and get a copy of something because we didn't have it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't know. Meanwhile, he goes back to the office. He comes back, and my husband then comes out, and he's like, it's your turn. And I said, is everything okay? He's like, yes and no, but it's an interview. Listen, the process, the family unity, it's a little different. I went in, I sat down at one of the first seats, and baby, the interrogation began. So, little background story. My husband and I are newly married. We are a midlife wedding couple, married couple. And so we're 50, and we got married 2 years ago. So we are brand new, and which we're living, not just existing, right? And so we were like, we can answer these questions because we know each other very well, no big deal. They went in, and the first question they asked was, what color is your house? Now, mind you, they said, make sure you put down your Airbnb. I don't know what color that thing is. It's white. He said, are you sure? That's not what your husband said. What color did he say? I'm smiling. I'm making sure I'm charismatic and as lovely as possible. But I answered all the questions. He did start to say, what's his mother's name? Oh, I got that. What's his father's name? Oh, I got that. What's his, who watched you get married? Who was there? Who witnessed your wedding? Who attended? When did you guys meet? Where did you meet? Were you married before? And I have been married before, so I had to give that information. I'm like, oh my goodness, are you gonna call him? I mean, we're cool. He knows I'm here, but very interesting. They go hard because, and I found out later that that is the way that people try to sneak in, is really through marriage, and they will pay. They have paid judges to authorize a wedding or authorize whatever paperwork to get in. Like, so they were this was a different appointment. The first appointment I had for economic solvency, I got through, no big deal. This one, way more intense. So that's why my husband was a little like, this appointment was not fun, because they asked him a lot of questions. He was able to answer, and he said the same thing. When they asked about you, I was good. Oh, I know your mama name, your daddy name, everybody's name. But when it came to what color is your house, and they said, you don't know where you live? What's your address? And here, the homes, the addresses are not like the US. They have cross streets, and you need to know your cross street. So I'm going, I don't know the cross street. I said, and I did, rightfully so. I told them, look, we just got here March 31st. We just got into our home. We are new here. I don't really have the information. So he sat there for a while, the interviewer. He was so nice and so kind and patient with me. And he said, just, don't worry about it. I'll be right back. He left. He came back and he said, hey, here's your husband's passport. Here's yours. Come back in a couple of days after you get an email. We'll email your attorney, and then we'll have you guys come back. And I was like, okay, is that a good sign? So I went out and told my attorney, and he said, yeah. He was like, just this is the process. He said, typically, like, you got your ID the first day, on the same day. That's rare. This is more common that you'll come back. And so we came back, and 2 days later, which was April 9th, which was yesterday, we came back. Our appointment was at 8:30, so we got there early. It was a long line outside. This is a different day. So we're like, oh, okay, this is a long line. And thinking to ourselves, okay, is everyone here for the same type of thing, which is, fingerprinting and the photo? And they were. And we were the last people that got there. And so we were there for 4 hours. I sat outside just as worried as he was about me the first day. He was in there for 4 hours. And I'm just sitting there going, what in the world could they possibly be doing? Are they interviewing him anymore? Or are they asking more questions he can't answer? Like, I didn't know what was going on. So my attorney had to go run and do something for another client. He had left me out there for a little bit, which is not a big deal. Again, the people are so kind here. And even people who are trying to get into the country are kind here. I ended up meeting a person from the U.S., a gentleman who was going through the process with his partner. And we connected at Starbucks and, had a nice little conversation. Shout out to him. I know he won't be watching, but anyway. So it was really, really a long process to sit and wait, but he got it. 4 hours later, he came out with his ID. very, very happy. We are now officially temporary residents. The process, while tedious, was necessary. I understand why they do what they do. From my understanding, the interview is a little bit new because of kind of what's going on with in the U.S. I understand the president has asked to be more strict in areas, and that's one of those areas. So, but anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and give you our story. Follow me. I have more content. I have more things to talk about. I had a nightmare situation with Airbnb. I'm definitely going to make a video on that. But I wanted to get this started because I've got to work. And that's another video in itself, is that working. How has, the experience been with me working remotely? People do it all the time as digital nomads. I know it's not a real big deal, but I just wanted to make sure I had everything. And again, I'm trying to make that connection to make sure that I have everything I need to be able to have this life here that I've had in the U.S. and eventually, hopefully not, because I don't really want to continue working corporate. But anyway, thank you so much if you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. This is a new journey for me. I've said I wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I've been really kind of shy to do it. But I'm glad that I'm doing it because it kind of just helps others. So that's my point. So continue to live and not just exist. Thank you.